Swathes of people are expected to journey into London next week as the services for the Queen's state funeral unfold, allowing the public to pay their respects to the late monarch. The funeral will take place on Monday, allowing the Queen to lie in state in Westminster Hall for 4 days prior. During this period, members of the public will be able to visit and file past her coffin, giving mourners an opportunity to honour the late monarch. Royal commentator Nicholas Owen suggested over 1 million people could descend on the capital in the coming days as the nation pays tribute to Queen Elizabeth II. Having visited Buckingham Palace, Mr. Owen spoke to GB News, reporting on the huge crowds. "Very quickly, London is filling up." He added, "It is going to get tricky because the crowds are so great that it is very difficult to get around. Roads are having to be cordoned off and an awful lot of restrictions are coming inevitably." Swarms of people flocked to Buckingham Palace and other royal residences with floral tributes following the public announcement that the Queen had died. Millions are expected to visit London as the Queen lies in state. Image, Getty. Thousands have already laid tributes at royal residences. Image, Getty. Mr. Owen, a former royal correspondent, predicted the crowds would continue to grow as the Queen's body was returned to London. "I cast my mind to previous funerals and thought of the crowds that turned out for Diana, Princess of Wales and the Queen Mother. They are going to be nothing compared to what we are going to see in the next few days. They're talking about 700,000 in London, that sounded to me like a police estimate, which is always an underestimate. We're talking about 1 million, possibly 2 million people." Read more. King Charles III, Andrew, Anne and Edward walk behind Queen's coffin. Mr. Owen said London is filling up as crowds gather to mourn the late monarch. Image, Getty. The queues to pay respects to the Queen are expected to be miles long. Image, Getty. Mr. Owen joked that those hoping to visit while the Queen lies in state should bring their camping gear for the lengthy wait. "If people want to go and pay their respects, and I hope they do, they are going to have a very, very long wait." Scotland Yard's new commissioner Sir Mark Rowley has already warned that the anticipated crowds pose a serious challenge for the Metropolitan Police. The commissioner said, "We are going to be putting thousands of officers into this because of the level of security required and the millions of people who want to pay their respects. Don't miss, no, I'm going to carry them." Meghan caught in awkward spat with aide, inside Corbyn seen at King's speech after skipping important royal ceremony, reveal "Not my king." Andy royal protester removed from Parliament by police. Report, the Met Police and the Army are preparing for huge numbers to descend on the capital. Image, Getty. Trending during the 4-day period, road closures and other perimeter restrictions will be imposed across the city in order to help manage the crowds. A Downing Street spokesperson has confirmed the Army will also be made available to assist in crowd management and security concerns. The Prime Minister's official spokesperson said, "Obviously there is a significant policing operation, but I think 1,500 military personnel are on hand to support the events taking place in London, which includes helping with queues for lying in state." Preparations are already underway to establish a clear queuing system across London as the trail of mourners is expected to extend for miles across the capital. Read next, Prince Harry throws his weight behind King Charles' Andrew to retreat under royal radar after teary public appearance. Line of succession in full, where Queen's 12 great-grandchildren stand. Nation's love for our beloved monarch in a sea of blooms across UK. Prince Andrew set to have prominent role at Queen's funeral.